XRP community. Donald Trump just announced $2,000 stimulus checks for United States citizens. In today's video, we're going to be talking about all the things to look forward to next week when market opens on Monday, why XRP has the biggest potential amongst the top 5 to 10 cryptocurrencies going into the month of December, when the feds are going to stop quantitative tightening and hopefully pivot to QE and also continued rate cuts. Remember, as always, never financial advice, just trying to put you guys on the plays that I'm in. If you're new around here, smash the like button down below for the YouTube algorithm and also consider subscribing to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive in to the crypto market. So the market is surging today, Sunday, November 9th, after Donald Trump announced $2,000 stimulus checks to all non-high income earning Americans. Last time we saw stimulus checks enter the market, which was back in 2020 during the pandemic, we saw the markets begin to surge like never before, as people like to look into risk on assets during times of having excess liquidity. And a lot of people have been wondering, what is going to be the thing that pumps the market the next time? And right now what we're seeing is this announcement, of course, was extremely bullish for markets. And what's most interesting is it's not Bitcoin that's on a rise. Yes, it's up 1.6% on the day, but look at the altcoins like XRP up 1.77% on the day. Trade volume is a little bit down because it is a weekend regardless. But what I love about the Trump administration, whether you like the guy or not, he likes to make announcements on weekends, meaning very crypto specific bullishness instead of worrying about the stock market on a Monday market open where hedge funds, institutional investors can dive in. So let's go ahead and look at some of the top gainers. Of course, we're seeing a lot of privacy protocols still outpacing the market. You guys know I've been talking about Aster. It's a top 10 gainer, but the most important thing to look into right now is XRP. So with everything that's going on, you guys know I've been doubling down on my personal position with iTrust Capital, links down below. But what's most interesting right now, guys, is right here. Donald Trump put out a statement this morning saying people that are against tariffs are fools. We are the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation and a record stock market. 401ks are highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt of 37 trillion. And I believe that Donald Trump has a big goal here. Make the markets rally to new all-time highs and make the United States of America, upon his basically end of term, to be a debt-free country, which would put us in really good standing for the next presidential election and the person that comes in next. Because one of the things that's looming here in the United States is this big $37 trillion debt. Record investment in the USA, plants and factories going up all over the place, a dividend of at least, mind you, it's not $2,000, it's at least $2,000 a person, not including high-income people, will be paid to everyone. Kobesi letter went ahead and put out a statement saying stimulus checks are officially back. Now, I've seen the sentiment, and one of the biggest ways I can tell if retail here is here or not is based off YouTube viewership, right? Because my channel really does shed light on where are retail investors at the moment. We saw back in back in July and August, where viewership was 50 to 90, 100,000 views per video. But since then, we saw this big retracement as retail started exiting the market. But the thing you need to understand is what are true price predictions and what is the sentiment for XRP overall? I put out a tweet earlier this morning, and I think it's very much summing of what the market situation is. $2,000 stimulus checks are on the way. Government is going to be reopening shortly. End of quantitative tightening December 1st. Rate cuts most probable in December. Don't remain sidelined. It is time, but don't take my word for it. Here's one of the things that one of the community members over on the XRP Armies community stated. Here's how high XRP could rise if it beats Visa's $600 billion market cap and valuation, right? Because we know cross-border payments and a payment settlement platform is what XRP is. But before we even dive into this article, look at what people are saying from the expert side of things. Experts say people disliking XRP without reason mirrors Tesla's early days. And this is what's so remarkable, guys. A top XRP community figure drew a parallel between the current public skepticism surrounding XRP and the backlash Tesla faced in its early days. Over the next years, XRP has faced widespread criticism, with detractors questioning its underlying technology, large token supply, and Ripple's substantial escrow holdings. Some critics argue that XRP is centralized due to its close association with Ripple, while others claim that the token's price is being deliberately suppressed to allow institutional investors to accumulate XRP at a discounted rate. As criticism gained momentum, community experts, his name is Michael, argues that much of the negative sentiment for XRP, this is where you got to make sure you're paying attention, is emotionally driven, not fundamentally, possibly due to their affiliations with rival projects. In Michael's view, the criticism XRP has faced over the years lack objective analysis or factual grounding. XRP's current skepticism, similar to criticism of Tesla's early days, because remember, Tesla stock dropped significantly from all-time highs back in 2017, 2018, after its public IPO, and things were going towards their direction, saying, oh no, diesel vehicles are where it's at. Meaning here, if we're drawing a direct parallel with XRP, credit cards like MasterCard and Visa are where the cross-border payments are going to stay. Centralized banks are going to continue to run. But look who just partnered with XRP and Ripple Labs. MasterCard, one of the biggest credit card issuers in the entire world. So Michael likened the current negative sentiment surrounding XRP to criticism Tesla faced in the early days. For context, Tesla's early criticism centered on its financial viability, production delays, and skepticism from established brands. So it's not about betting on a certain coin, guys. It's not betting on crypto as a whole. It's instead betting on the people that are behind the project. What have they done to ensure success for XRP coin and Ripple Labs as a whole entity? So with that being said, a lot of people ask me about XRP price predictions, and I'm just going to talk about what to expect over the next 60 days before the year ends here in 2025. If XRP could surpass $600 billion market cap amid several bullish forecasts, ETF approvals, and growing institutional interest, with the government reopening, remember that means that the SEC can now hopefully approve all the ETF filings, including 21 shares that was just filed about a week ago. All of these go live, and now we're going to see people across the entire market, families, 401k holders, whoever it might be, start pouring money into crypto. Because remember, with stimulus checks, people are going to look for risk on assets. They'll come into Coinbase, or they'll come into Binance, or they'll come into anything, even Kraken Exchange, even iTrust Capital, whatever it might be. Again, links down below if you want a free $100 with iTrust Capital. But the most important thing here is to understand, are they going to buy $103,000 Bitcoin? No, because they're going to have $2,000 of additional liquidity given to them as a stimulus from the government. So they're going to look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, top 5 cryptocurrencies, and look at them as, Bitcoin is a little expensive. Ethereum is too much. I can't even buy a whole ETH, because this is the way retail will think. Even me in 2017, that's how I was thinking. XRP at $2.30 compared to BNB and Solana looks like a free buy to me. And then we're going to see a $2,000 buy. And then they tell their friends, hey, I am now a crypto investor. I'm in XRP. I bought 100 coins. I bought 1,000 coins. And then their friends will start buying. And their friends' friends will start buying. And then we're going to see XRP begin to solve the liquidity issue that is currently in the crypto market, as new liquidity has not flowed in for a really long time. So that being said, can we see a 4x $600 billion valuation by year end with the new liquidity wave that is coming, including the M2 money supply that is now at all-time highs? Absolutely. It's never been about if, it's about when. But now we have a better timeline, hopefully when Trump issues a date when these $2,000 stimulus checks will go out to the American people. So with that being said, XRP's price action from a just short-term perspective is potentially a 4x from current price. $2.30 times 4, you're looking at a $9.20 XRP before year end. And that's short term. Long term, as crypto continues to expand and become a $100, $200, $300 trillion industry, because right now it's still in its infancy at a $3.5 trillion market cap, globally speaking. Compare that to the stock market, which is at 25 trillion. Compare that to gold, which is at 20 trillion. Remember, Bitcoin is set to hopefully flip gold at some point in time. So making just BTC a $20 trillion entity. And with appreciation, inflation, and everything else, we're talking $30 to $40 trillion. So what are the chances of XRP overtaking Visa? I don't think it's about if, it's about when. Popular projections for XRP at $12 and beyond. Again, for me, I'm going to say $9.20 by year end. But from there, I do believe that we could see a double-digit, triple-digit, 4-digit XRP over the next years to come. So double down on your positions, be prepared for the new liquidity wave that's entering the market. And right now we're looking good. We're holding support, hopefully by market close today on Sunday or the weekly close candle. If Bitcoin can hold above 104K, which is a big support line and a resistance point, we can now enter into a new price discovery and new all-time highs across the market, and XRP rallies back to its previous all-time high and then beyond that. I appreciate your guys' support as always. Thank you so much for your continued support. For those of you that stuck around to the end of the video, there's a link down below for iTrust Capital. You can buy and sell crypto here. Europop has teamed up, as they said here, with iTrust Capital to offer exclusive $100 funding bonus. I use it myself. You guys know I've shown my portfolio time and time again. There's IRAs where you can trade tax-free in the IRA account, or premium custody, which I utilize, that gives you institutional grade custody for your crypto. You can go to sleep at night not thinking, where did my cryptocurrency go? If you're holding on hot storage or cold storage, there's always a risk of you losing your seed phrase or people going into your account. Here, it's a closed loop system. Read about it. Check out the link down below. And until next time, everybody, as always, keep investing. Peace.